This build took me over 100 hours to create. This is the largest underground build ever in Valheim. For this build, I took inspiration from some of the best fantasy world building of our time, the Tolkien universe. This build is a mix of Khazhad-dum from the Rings of Power and Mines of Moria from the Lord of the Rings. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Let's begin. Alright, so let's get started with the tour here at the front entrance. The first thing you're going to see is probably this giant hand. This is the hand of Eru Iluvatar, the god of the Tolkien universe. It's here to symbolize the incoming destruction of Khazhad-dum and then the creation of the Mines of Moria. You can see I chose to use large stones as the palm of the hand, and actually underneath these stones is the ocean canal, which leads all the way into the center of the build and brings trade inside. We'll check that out in a minute, but let's go ahead and check out the front entrance. You can go ahead and start to get a sense of scale here of the entire build with how tall this front entrance is. You can see I chose to go with two different staircases, kind of coming in from maybe two different directions or two different roads, and I also decided to leave the front entrance wide open. As we head inside here, you can go ahead and get your first glimpse at the largest underground build ever done in Valheim. Now, I've already gotten a lot of comments in my preview pictures over the last week or two about how laggy this build must be. But actually, through a number of methods, I've been able to keep the instances down to around 17,500. I'll be talking about these methods throughout the video, but there's too much, so I will be making a part 2 showing how I built this. Let me know what you want to see in that how-to video in the comments. But let's go ahead and start touring this build. The first thing we're going to see is a couple of buildings, but really quickly, I want to take you guys to the left and down to see the water trade canal. As we come down here, you can look to your right and you can actually see that the canal goes all the way under 3 bridges to the back of the build, and actually to the left it goes all the way through this like underground canal to the ocean. Now, I also already got a comment saying that a longboat would not fit through this tunnel. Alright, this is no problem. Well, alright, slight bump, adjusting. Look, I mean, okay. Yeah. Alright, so maybe as we head back up here to the build, the first thing I wanted to show you is these stone floors. This is one of the biggest methods I used to save instances. I mean, you can imagine I probably saved thousands of instances throughout the entire build because I didn't need to do stone or black marble floors. Speaking of black marble, you're going to see that the majority of this build is built with black marble. I've got a little bit of stone thrown in there and even less wood. I really tried to use as little wood as possible throughout the build, well, except for decorations. But yeah, this area out here is kind of a workyard. That's why you can see little random things here and there. And over here on this side, we especially have a lot of items, and that's because this is where a crane can lift items up towards the keep. We'll be checking out the keep at the end of the tour. The crane itself is an old design I made in the Tower Bridge build, if you want to check that out. The only thing I changed is I added this hook here, which is in the game directory. I'll put the code on screen now. Now you can go ahead and see the first building, which we're going to go inside and tour. This is kind of a two-sided building. You can see this side faces like this way and this side faces out this way, and they're kind of connected on the inside with a little tunnel in the back on each floor. And I think it's really cool because this really is supposed to feel like a dwarven home. Maybe all the workers here kind of live here in this home together, I don't know. But here on the first floor, we've got some spots for some storage, a place to sit and eat, and just different things to make it feel like hopefully a dwarven home. You know, we've got the vines everywhere and the dirt and stone walls to make it feel ancient and make it feel like we're in a cave. We can go through the tunnel here into the kitchen. We've got the dining room next door, the kitchen over here, so you could do all your cooking and hanging out here on the bottom floor of the build. Now heading up to the second floor of the build, you can see I kind of brought a little snaking staircase back into the mountain under rocks and everything to really get that dwarvish type of feel. Here on the second floor, we've got a workshop, which we'll check out in a second, but I did want to take you guys out here and show you the first real view of the whole kingdom. You know, we've got a lot of little spots which we're going to be stopping and enjoying along the way, so let's keep moving. But nice view there here on the lower supporting pole of the kingdom. Let's head over here to the second floor, where you're going to see we've got a workshop. We've got a workbench as kind of the theme. We've got a view down below to the staircase, by the way. But yeah, we've got a workbench here where you could hopefully repair and create sets of armor. So this is kind of like an armor workshop here. Maybe you could repair work clothes here or whatever. And then as you go through the tunnel, we come around to where we have a forge, and then all of the weapons and tools would be repaired here. Weapons up top, maybe like some barrels of gunpowder here, I don't know. And you even have another view of the another view of the build. We're gonna get a lot of these throughout the build, like I said, so let's keep moving. And we can head up to the third floor. Now actually every part of this build and the entire build is functional, except I totally forgot that there is a walkway over through this rock, and I placed this rock here, so my bad on that. Honestly, I really like it though. I don't regret it, because this upstairs room here is really cool with the rocks kind of working in with some chests, and you really feel like you're in a cave. Of course, up here on the third floor, we've got a place for the dwarves to actually sleep. We've got a bedroom here, and then we've also got another bedroom here. If you want to experience this world by yourself, it is now offered as part of the ultimate tier in my channel memberships. Also, all of my old worlds are in the advanced tier, and there is even a keep the lights on tier if you just want to help me be able to keep making these videos. Also, you can join my Discord for some free world downloads as well, link in the description. Okay, back to the video. Alright, so that's it for the first building and most of this side of the lower level of the build. So let's go ahead and head across the bridge. You can see we've got a bridge up top, which we'll be checking out in a little while, and a bridge down low, which we'll be at momentarily. As we head under this little kind of, I don't even know what you would call that, actually. As we head under that thing, we can head this way, and you'll see a circular building here, and down there we've got the farm and a warehouse. We'll go check that out in a second, but let's talk about this circular building. This actually provides access to 3 different stories within the kingdom. If you go up to the top floor here, we've got a nice little living terrace, which I thought would be cool, kind of right next to the skylight. Maybe it gets sun from the skylight, and this will give you access to everything up top, but we're not going to go up here just quite yet. If you head down the staircase, you get back to the level we were just on, and just below this you have a communal area for the dwarves to kind of get together, do a little bit of drinking, and do a little bit of partying. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have just like an open dining hall kind of feel. You've even got like a little water access over here in the back, which I thought was pretty cool. And you can see back here in the back, we've just got kind of like, you know, miscellaneous different displays here for barrels and mead and places for them to get drinks and food. Maybe a place where barrels can kind of slide out of a little feature up there. And then if you go down this bridge, you've got kind of like a big pantry here where they could restock the party with drinks and food. But let's go ahead and head back up to the staircase tower. So the staircase tower here, we already went inside. Let's head over here past the little water feature down low, which is kind of cool, and a little bench which you could take a seat on. And we've got the farm, but we also have a warehouse. Since this is kind of like the workyard area down here on the lower level, I thought it would be a great place to have somewhere where you could actually store some items for a long amount of time. So we've got different shelves on different elevations, you know, the vines and the dirt walls to really make you feel like you're in a cave. And then even above us, we've got the second crane, which could bring some of these items directly from the warehouse up to the second floor, which is kind of cool, I thought. Over here, we've got our tiered farm or terraced farm, whatever you'd like to call it. And you can see on this right side, we've got a nice little staircase, which kind of gives you access to each of the tiers of the farm. And even the wall itself in the farm is also kind of tiered to really bring in a tiered terrace type of vibe. We've also got some different vegetables and things growing in different little patterns. It's kind of hard to see the patterns. And the one final thing I wanted to point out down here down low is the skylight. This skylight brings in some much needed light down here into the caves. It also brings in some life, you can see, with the hanging vines, but you can also see with the change of the time of day, it's a really nice view. I mean, if you were actually living here, the view of the stars, the view of Yggdrasil through the hole, it would just be a great view at nighttime. But as we come back to daylight, I do want to take us back to the front entrance. All right, so we've checked out everything on the right down low. Let's go ahead and head over to the left to the rest of the build. As we come this way, we're going to go underneath this finger, and you can see we've actually got a little platform up above where you could see who was coming in and out of the kingdom. Now, this platform and the second and third floor of this building are only accessible through a sky highway, which goes across the length of the entire build. I really wanted this place to feel like a maze of pathways and like an adventure that you could go on as you're exploring. So we'll eventually get to the upper floors of this building, but first we're just going to keep going along with the tour, and we're going to check out the bottom floor, which is the throne room. This is one of my favorite views right here of the build, next to the larger pillar supporting the upper half of the cavern. Absolutely love the view right here. But let's head inside to the throne room, where you can see a pretty modest throne room, nothing too crazy. And then of course the vines on the sides, the rocks and the dirt walls to bring in those cave vibes. And then on the sides of the building here, where you've got the windows outside, we've got kind of just little areas to maybe sit and wait your turn to talk to the king and queen, or you know, maybe where the king and queen would eat some food. I don't know, but I really love the vibe of this room. It really feels like you're inside of a cave, and this is actually a really good place to point out. Each of the buildings doesn't have a back side. Because of the fact that we're working with caves and these dirt walls, I did not have to build a back side, which is just another way that I was able to save probably thousands of instances here in this build. But let's keep moving on with the tour. We're gonna head under this bridge right here over into the shipyard. Now here in the shipyard, we kind of have like a sunken workshop, no pun intended, and here we've got a little raised area to repair or build boats. Originally I did have a long ship here, but it felt a little too big for this space, so I kind of made it a little bit smaller and just used it for a carve. And here we've got kind of a place you could push a log through with the grinding wheel looking like a saw, and just different tools here and there for a little shipyard. Here we've got a small workshop where you can kind of repair your tools for the shipyard, and you know, you've just got different things to work on. Wood, I know, or somebody's going to say it in the comments, this is a stone cutter. And then you can also see that we've got the different types of wood here for the shipyard placed nice and secure behind a gate. So we've got core wood, fine wood, and regular wood back there sealed away. This is the crane, which is right above the warehouse, which you might remember from a minute ago. Nice view of everything from here as well. Right behind me here we have a workshop. I did want to get in at least one big flat roof. To me that really symbolizes dwarven architecture. I don't know why, but here we've got just an open workshop. You know, just anybody could come in and out, and it's just kind of open access to the public. So forge, black forge, all your miscellaneous things, little table here to get some work done, workbench on this side, and you know, just hammers here and there to be able to do some work. Here's the top of the staircase tower, and over here is one of my favorite sections of the build. Back here in this little corner, the different staircases and paths and the trees that come in and out. Absolutely love the vibes of this area, especially like how these kind of pathways worked out. I don't know. And you've got the upside down building. Absolutely love it. You can see that I definitely used a lot of black marble. Lately I've been getting a lot of comments like, man, that's a lot of black marble. I don't know how you got all that black marble. Let me tell you, for these dwarves, getting black marble is no problem at all. But yeah, let's head up the staircase here. We've got a nice curving staircase kind of fitting naturally in with the environment, and we've got even a little small staircase here, which is kind of sketchy and small and you could fall off. I don't know, I kind of felt like dwarves don't really care about like safety. I don't know, like if you remember Erebor from The Hobbit, there's like no handrails on any of those things in their whole kingdom. But this is like a large dwarven household. Maybe this is kind of a rich dwarf or something. You've got a little raised area here for a bed, raised area here for a little dining room, some shelves along the wall, kitchen, workshop, and a hot tub, really tall ceilings, you know, really just trying to make it feel like a dwarvish household. As we go this way, I want to take you guys up to the Sky Highway, but first, I want to show you the mine. So the mine worked out really great. We've got these arches here, which I'll show you the code on screen for those in the directory. As you come down the mine, we've got stones everywhere. We've got a silver mine on the left and a copper mine on the right. You've got ladders which lead you up to the different parts of the mine, which I thought was a really interesting idea. As we head down this way, we've got more ladders. The ladders on this side especially, man, I wish I had more room to work with this and I could have done a bunch of these, but the build was already getting really big once I made the mine, so I didn't want to go too far with it. But really cool concept here. I might end up doing it again in the future with a larger space. Nice black marble staircase coming down to the very bottom of the mine, and just different goods and things here. All right, so the upside down building. This actually functions as a sky highway for the kingdom. So this is going to connect up a lot of different buildings. We've got a little communal area down here. I'm going to go ahead and fly up the staircase, and you can see I've got 2 doors already open for us, and these are just more views, more balconies, which provide a different perspective on kind of what the build looks like, which is pretty cool. The front entrance, the skylight, the keep, I don't know, all the different entrances are cool. We'll come back and we'll go through that door in just a minute towards the keep, but first I want to take you across the sky highway past these big brackets here which kind of hold up this bridge, which is pretty cool. It turned out really nice. Over here to this like fully suspended building where we've got 2 different little balconies here, once again providing unique perspectives on the build of their own. And then we can just keep on going though over back to the buildings. You might recall this building here below us is the large dwarven household and the open workshop. Here on the 3rd floor, we've got some beds here where some dwarven foremen I thought could live. Hear me out. We've got a space here where maybe the foreman could live, and they kind of have access to the more exclusive areas, I was thinking, because check this out. They've got their own little area here which is above the area which holds all of the logs. And I thought this would be cool where they could get together and eat and, you know, relax and plan things. And they could also shout orders down to the shipyard where all the work is being done. I thought that was like a really interesting idea. And, you know, some of the access to the cave maybe would need to be restricted, maybe have some different things. So maybe that's what this area is. You can see it goes all the way along the tops of the builds, which we saw earlier. It even has a little hole right here which peeks down, which I thought was really cool, really giving you those cave vibes. And you can even come down to here, go down the staircase, and this is where you finally get to go out onto this wall. So maybe the foreman or maybe just like higher up guards would live there, and they could come out here and see the comings and goings of the kingdom, see who's coming in and out. Once again, another really nice view from right here. If we head back this way though, you can see that not only do we get access to that little viewpoint, but we also get access to kind of the top of the throne room where maybe you would defend against an attack from up here or something. I'm not really sure. Little cartography tables to plan like a battle or something like that. And you can head over here and head out onto one of my favorite viewpoints of the kingdom, which is here next to this really large pillar on this upper half of the build, where you can come around and get a full 360 view here of everything. Lots of different angles. You can just see each and every little thing. But let's pop back over to the sky highway. So the sky highway here, we didn't go through this door last time. We're going to be heading across this bridge here, the nice brackets there to hold the bridge up, and you can see down low we've got the keep, which is kind of like the final place to defend, also the place to meet and do a lot of dining. Here we've got a little bit of like a guard tower where you could come straight out of the sky highway and access the top of the keep. Once again, another really nice view of everything. And heading towards the top of the keep over here, you can see that we've got some really cool arches. We've got just a view of everything from here. Once again, we've got a little place to plan a battle and sharpen your weapons if you're being attacked. As we head this way, you can see in this middle section of the tower, we've got some cartography tables here where you could defend and plan things. Up top, we've got a storage area and a bedroom for anybody to sleep in that's staying in the keep for a period of time. We've got some vines hanging from the ceiling, a nice view from here of that. So back here on the cartography level, you can also head down another staircase to a floor below, but I think it'd be cooler to show you guys the view from outside. So crossing the bridge here, like most people probably would for accessing the keep, you've got a nice view of the tower on the left and kind of the increasing in height keep as it goes to the right, with the tallest tower on the right. You've got a pretty imposing building here in front of you with the entrance into the back dining room. But you also have over here on the right side below the cartography tables, you have the main kitchen for the keep with lots of stone ovens, prep tables for some food, and plenty of room to do some cooking. Over here on this side, we've got actually just a party room. Not gonna lie, that was my idea here. Full of drinks, full of, you know, fun, I guess you could say. Places to sit and relax, places to kind of store some barrels up tucked out of the way, barrels all over the place, and just a lot of drinking and partying and fun would go on here. And then back here in the back, you would have your more like formal dining room where we've got different places to sit. We've got a really cool view of the back of the keep. It really feels like you're in a cave here. You've got these really tall ceilings. You've got different things going on, like you're kind of living here. Little fireplace, drinks here and there, and, you know, a table with some food and a place to sit and eat and enjoy some company. All right, that is it for the video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what you want to see in the how-to part 2 video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.